Hi everyone, Positive Steve here. Something a little bit different today. G'day dogs. This is my computer. I bought it because my laptop I thought had died, but it didn't. It is a Dell Optiplex 9010, which makes it about 7 years old, and as you can see, it is a small form factor PC. Obviously they don't come with very good graphics cards, which makes audio and video editing a little bit difficult. I could have bought a $70 graphics card that would fit in my small form factor case. However, that's no fun. I want to hot rod this. So, to go in my small case, I have this. I have the ASUS GTX680. I think it's Strix edition. I can't remember what it is now. Basically, 12 years ago, these were the coolest things on the block. My brother gave it to me for free because he was upgrading and didn't need it anymore. To make this work in my case, the power supply that comes with the case simply isn't up to scratch. So I also have a very second-hand 700 watt power supply that I'm going to wire up next to. I have a, what are they called? PCIe riser card, because that graphics card is just about as big as my entire case, and because the power supply is too old for the graphics card, believe it or not, I've got a little adapter cord that's going to give me 8 pins of power. It's a two power cord dealio. Oh, and I've got a chopping board to rest it on top of as an insulating surface. So let's get stuck into it. This is my first time using a GoPro for video, so I apologize if I'm not actually looking at anything at any one time. Alright, so case off. As you can see, no current graphics card. Let's see, where do we go? I'll put in the jumper first. I wonder if they've made this childproof. It looks pretty sealed. I haven't brought anything sharp with me. That was a bit dumb. Alright. I've already run a few what are they called? Cinebench tests on my computer, and it doesn't score very well at all, mostly because the graphics, onboard graphics, are rubbish. So we'll see firstly if this fits, because it'll really bug me if it doesn't. Ooh, that's going to fit. Press in, damn it. Hey. Alright, so riser card is in. Now I need my insulating surface to go on top. High tech. Kids, don't try this at home. Screw it, kids, try this at home, it'll be great. It'll totally work. Gargantuan graphics card. Probably could use it clean, but dodgy. Look at this. Look at the absolute size of that. There's no way that was ever going to fit inside the case. So chuck this on the end of that riser card, if it'll let me. What's going on here? Oh, I see. I think. Oh, slidey. Alright, so that's in there. So that can now just sit on top. I also haven't thought of how to get vision out. Okay, so that's a DisplayPort and HDMI. That's what I'm using now. Cool. Okay. Power supply. Now I've got to find... I reckon this one comes with two 6-pin plugs. Now I don't like how these are looped off of each other, but if they can supply enough power to two 6-pins, I'm sure it can go 6-pin and 8-pin. So I'll plug A meets socket B. You don't want to go in. Why don't you want to go in? That's a bent pin. Why is there a bent pin? This is brand goddamn new. Nope, smaller. Needs smaller. Bent pin when it's brand new. What kind of dodgy crap is this? Try again, this time with feeling. Much nicer. Alright, so now we have a 6 and 8 pin PCIe power. I really hope this doesn't blow anything up. I don't think it will. I don't... Ooh, red lights. Alright. I don't know where I'm supposed to put everything. Completely out of space. The power's over that side. Move its screen. Shock you as this may, I'm actually very new to doing PC stuff, so yes, this is dodgy. No, I don't know what I'm doing. And my GoPro sounds bloody terrible. My apologies for sounding horrendous. What do we got? What do we got? Don't flex like that. Come on. It's not a fire hazard, I swear. Oh my gosh, get in there. There we go. Alright, power to the power supply. 6 and 8 pin PCIe power. There's the 8 pin. And there's the 6 pin. Make sure nothing's touching anything metal. And right, I need to plug a screen in to make sure this is actually going to work. What have we got? Are you DisplayPort? Yes, you are. And I need an HDMI to HDMI. I bet I don't have a spare one. Underprepared as I am, let's just unplug this one. We'll use one screen for now to make sure it all works. Okay, moment of truth. Power supply for graphics card on. Maybe? Maybe not. Why is that not on? Alright, first problem straight away. We got no power. Why do we have no power? PC on. I don't know which way is on. Neither way seems to be doing anything. That's a concern. And I've got no power to my screen. What is going on? Look at that, dogs. Still got power to the PC, so I can't have pulled anything out. It's very confusing. Get. Very confusing. Did some Googling, found out that a PSU won't turn on unless we've got a motherboard holding its hand, which I can't do. So in a move that's dodgy even for me, it says to jump 2 of the pins in the motherboard 24-pin connector on the PSU, the green earth and any one of the black neutrals. I'll just do the 2 next to each other, which apparently tricks it into thinking it's getting its hand held. So I'm going to do that to my other spare PSU, my other small form factor spare PSU, so that if it does blow it up, I don't blow up my 700 watt. This is 300 watts, so really it should be able to drive a graphics card by itself. So I'm going to give that a crack, but I'm going to plug it in after I've put the jumper in, and not before. Trust me, I will, if this works, I will eventually tidy it all up and, you know, resolder all the wires so that they are the bare minimum and they don't look this dodgy. Oh man, that's so bad. Alright, so if I now add power, that should just spring into life, and if it does, then we're cooking. Ooh, we have fan movement. You little ripper. Alright, so that works. Beauty. Let's see if I can pull enough wattage through this little 300 watt. I've got some different connections for this. It doesn't have any PCIe power connections. So I've got SATA to 6 and 8 pin PCIe connections. I've read that that's not a good idea, but if I expire this PSU, I'm not so worried. Just need to see if this graphics card's going to work. So round 2. Oops, wrong side. Screen is on. 8 pin in. 6 pin in. Now it also says to turn on your power supply for the GPU first. Oop, that's touching the screen. Get out of it. Don't want you touching anything in case you're live and hurt something. I don't think so though, I think it's just a switch signal. Alright, so GPU first, so that the GPU knows that it's got external power before the PC tries to tell it to do anything, apparently. So GPU power first. Alright, fan's running. I'll plug my computer back in. And ooh, we got green lights. That's good. And that's posted. So let's see what we've got. With anything coming from the screen. Nope, PC turned itself off. Try again. Better. Screen stop flash. Oh, look at that. We've got something. Oh, yes. That makes me happy. You can do it. I think it's working. I'll be damned. Alright, so now that that looks like it's going, the only screen that I have plugged in is into the back of the big external GPU. Now that that looks like it's going, I'll pause the recording and do the boring things like installing drivers, and then I'll put up some results of the Cinebench test. So it works. It took me a little while to get the drivers to work, and I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see what I'm looking at on the screen. I've gone from 10 frames a second to 70 frames per second, which, although it's not mind-blowing these days, is actually really good for my little computer. It's running an i5 3470, so that's 3.2 gigahertz. It came with 4 gigabytes of RAM, but I've upgraded that to 8 gigabytes of RAM just because 4's terrible. Yeah, I'm actually really happy with the way that that's worked out. So video number 2, if this video sees the light of day, is going to be how to make this all look pretty. I plan on pulling apart the power supply, cutting out most of the wires so that I'm only using the ones that I need. I know I need to make some kind of mount for the outside of the case so that the latch still works and blah blah blah. So yeah, that's about it. Enjoy.